This is a very random duo.
Yeah,
We're not
yeah.
used to in a way.
Yeah.
Am I Andrew? My name.
No, you're unfortunately me. She's Danny Dyer.
Yeah.
You are, aren't you?
I like anything and all, but
Yeah.
for some reason, couscous winds me up.
Guys, come and on. What are we? We're an elite unit. Yeah.
Is that a bit of harissa paste?
No,
It's pesto.
pesto! Hey! Oh, hello. Welcome to Dish from Waitrose. I'm Nick Grimshaw.
And I'm Angela Hartnett.
And we have not one, but two guests. Two
Amazing.
guests for you today on Dish. The stars of Mr Bigstuff. A round of applause, please, for Ryan Sampson and Danny Dyer, everybody. Welcome to Dish. You've had a red. Now we're having an old-fashioned. What could go wrong?
Yes.
Cheers, guys.
Well,
Cheers, everyone. Oh, no, this is what. Oh, that's doing a double. Cheers.
yes.
I don't want to see
Eyeballs,
Danny Dyer
eyeballs.
double parks with red wine and an old-fashioned.
Whack
Jesus
your Malbec
Christ.
into the old-fashioned, I mean.
Cheers.
I didn't think there was enough in there.
I don't love an old-fashioned. You guys both do. You both
I do.
love one.
Yes, I want a drink that will punch you in the face.
That's,
Yes,
that
it
that
does.
really
Really will.
does. Yeah.
Constantly
yeah.
punched.
Yeah, wow. It really was. But yeah, we thought you both wanted one, so
Yes.
why not? We'll
Why
have
not?
an
Very
old-fashioned.
kind.
off
Very
the-
kind.
Serious one, yeah. Hey, we loved your show. We've got to
Thank
talk about
you.
Mr Bigstuff.
Thanks so much.
Which is why you guys are both here as this wonderful pairing
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
I mean, would you come anyway? to be
You'd have
honest?
come-
Yeah.
It's just perfect timing that the show's on the way.
Yeah.
Tell us about Mr Bigstuff. What was the initial inception? What was the initial idea of this show?
Well, the initial idea of it was, so we did an episode of Plebs together.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
many
for
moons ago.
ITV, set in ancient Rome, and they filmed it out in Bulgaria, and so he came out there, and I was like, "Man, he's good. This guy,
He is good.
This guy's promising."
Yeah.
And so it percolated with me for a while, and then I thought the stupidest thing I could think of is me and Danny Dyer playing brothers. It's
Yeah.
like twins. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito. In which case, I mean, obviously I'm Schwarzenegger in that scenario. So yeah, since then it kind of emerged. When I had the idea, I poured myself into writing this spec script. So no one had asked for it. I was just writing it. I got a bit obsessed with the idea, so I was day and night, typing away like Angela Lansbury at the beginning of Murder, She Wrote. This. And I wrote it, and I handed it in to this producer, and he was like, "Wow, it's really good. I can really see it, but I mean, it's completely pointless because Danny's doing EastEnders and he's been in it for years, and it's films day in, day out, every month of the year." And I was quite off about it, and I was like,
Sorry,
I've not.
I've got to pay my mortgage.
Got to pay his mortgage. I just hadn't thought it through. I don't know. I thought you could get time off it or something.
Yeah.
And he's the star.
It's a bloody start. So I went that weekend. I went for drinks with some friends, and I told them I was I'm a bit sad because of. I've spent loads of time writing this thing, and my friend Lee was like, "Oh, don't worry, we'll take you out for drinks, it'll be great." And but he's gonna like that.
He's good like that. We all need a Lee.
Yeah, we do. So we went out, and then we went to a bar, we went to a couple of places, and then went to theirs afterwards. Then in the morning, it was 8 a.m, I left theirs, and a newsagent's down the road, on the front of a paper was Dyer quits Enders. I know.
I didn't know.
Kiss
This
me.
is so new to me.
Yeah, and I was I can remember genuinely thinking at the time, God wants this to happen. God wants this to happen. And he's talking to me through the front page of Daily Express.
God's got in touch
I know,
by the
weird, right?
tabloids. Wow, that is a magical moment.
I know, right?
It is.
Thank
That
you.
is a real nice one after the afters at 8 a.m. finish.
I mean, that's a good
Yeah.
night out.
That is a good night out.
That's proper. We've had a couple of them, and no one.
Yeah.
You got a bond.
You got a bond. So, Danny, did you know about this from early inception? Did Ryan say, "I'm going to do this show"? Or
No,
you
but we
were
had a bit of a bond up on the job because
Yeah.
it was a strange place to film.
Yeah.
And there was some issues around it, but
Bulgaria?
Bulgaria was a nutty gaff.
It's
How long were you out there?
And I only came in for one ep. I played
Right.
a gladiator.
Yeah, obviously.
So I
So
suppose
good.
it was about And I went crackers out there, didn't I?
Mental.
Yeah, I did. We partied a lot, and then I f***ed off, and they got on with the job. But I suppose my character in that as well was very masculine. I was a gladiator.
Yeah.
It was a really fleeting thing. But I remember we had a bond up, and I really liked mine, and so there's no talk of it then. But then my career went a bit up, and I ended up in EastEnders. So, which I'm very proud of course. And it saved my and I've got very fond memories of that place, I must say, and I miss a lot of people there. But it was quite a random thing when I got sent it, and I read it and went, this is so clever. And it's a very random duo.
Yeah.
Used to in a way.
Yeah.
It's quite a random, isn't it? What
Am I Angela?
No, you're unfortunately me. She's Danny Dyer.
Yeah.
You are, aren't you? She is.
I like that, Ange.
She is.
Too nice.
She's the powerhouse.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
Oh, yes. Wow.
Here we
There's
go.
loads more to come.
Here we go.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
It's exciting.
Oh, wow.
What a treat this is.
What a treat. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having us.
I feel like this shoulder of lamb's been in there, Ange, for about 2 days. It's been delicately done, this.
I've got to get involved
get in
that
there.
straight away.
Is it slow and low?
Slow roast shoulder of lamb with anchovy, oregano and garlic and roast potatoes. Now, I know this is going to be so nice.
Would you like some more red wine?
I'm still finishing my old-fashioned.
Beggars and all that.
Yeah, go on, get involved.
Your anchovies that you put in it. I'm getting into
Thank you so much.
using anchovy for your
you? Is this a new
umami.
thing?
Yeah, it's better than
love an
just
anchovy.
your seasoning. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
like salt.
there's a sort of depth to it. Yeah.
You stuff them in, so you slash the shoulder of lamb, make lots of incisions, and normally you'd put lots of garlic, which you can do, but this time we put anchovies. So you don't need to go too mad on your seasoning because you've got saltiness from your anchovies going all the way through. And then we had oregano, lemon rind, bit of olive oil, and then onions to sit on a base of onions. So it doesn't sit in fat, just drips off. And for about 3.5 hours.
Wow. That is some nice lamb. That is really nice lamb. I'm always a bit dry when I do it at home.
Oh.
Yeah, I never smash lamb.
It's a tricky one. I like a bit of leg.
Yeah, a bit of leg.
Bit of leg, and then pick up that leg at the end and
Gnaw it.
munch round it, you know what I mean? Bit of leg dripping down your chin, you know.
Oh, have a right chew of that.
Perfect.
Do you guys like to cook at home?
I do. I'm a bit too experimental.
Right.
So my boyfriend will often get things that have just got a bit of sauerkraut on top for no apparent reason. But I think I like to just push the boundaries. He's not so sure about it.
Right, okay.
I take a recipe as just a sort of starting point.
Suggestion.
Yeah. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But that's cooking.
Yeah.
That is. Have you had a...
Yes, you experiment a lot and then just chuck stuff down and
Well,
then
I
you
just
gotta
think
munch
you've
it,
got to
is it?
try and...
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
You can't do that when you've got kids. I've got kids, you can't do it.
Oh, yeah,
What do they want for their tea?
They want, they never eat the same thing.
Yeah.
There's too much choice,
Right, yeah.
unfortunately, now, you know.
Do you like to cook, Danny? What's your go-to?
I do like doing a roast on a Sunday because it's the only time we sit around a table. And it's like a bit of an event, innit? But I like trying different things, but no one eats it because my kids will not try stuff.
Yeah, why is that with kids? Why do they do
It's
that?
just so bland and so boring and so set about their ways and, you know. I remember during
Set in their ways.
Yeah, but they are. I suppose
They're all
in
in mid-sixties.
Quite young, aren't they? Well, you know.
Well, one's 10, one's 17.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, they don't eat the same things. You know what I mean? It's like I mean, my boy loves a frozen little diddy pizza.
Yeah.
You know, God forbid you make your own pizza and put it
Yeah.
in front of him and spit at it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a nice kid, actually.
Nice kid.
You like
In case he's listening.
You rate him.
He's all right.
What about a Finder's crispy pancake? Are they still knocking about for kids?
They can't be around, can
Nowadays,
they?
it's all
I
just
think they probably are.
microplastics. So great.
Yay, we've got that in our lungs instead.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Ange, what's your top tip if anyone's listening to this and is like, I want to make that slow roasted lamb that Angela Hartnett made? It's low, it's slow. It's get those anchovies shoved in.
Yeah. And
technical term.
and when you cover the foil tightly. Oh. That's one thing.
All right.
Because you cover it with foil, but don't leave any gaps, because then it sort of self-steams, and that's why it stays moist. So it keeps all the juices and flavours inside.
It's the best bit of lamb I've ever had. That.
Oh, that's
lovely.
very
Do you reckon?
good.
Really delicious.
I've had some lamb in my
Oh,
life.
he's had some lamb. Oh, he's had some lamb. Oh, the wine we're having is a Malbec.
Yes,
Do you think that's a good with
Argentinian.
lamb?
Very delicious with lamb. Edmundo.
The Edmundo Malbec is the pairing that Waitrose have suggested.
It's robust and it's plummy.
Well,
As am I.
done a wine
I've only
course.
got one, and it's always a bit oaky.
Yeah,
But with a good nose.
that was a bit open, yeah.
If you want to try that wine or try this recipe or any of the recipes we do, waitrose.com/dish recipes. I love the food that when we did the food chat of what you guys are into, what you're into, Ryan. Amazing this. Ryan said, drink-wise, I love anything that punches you in the face, dirty martini or an old-fashioned, hence the old-fashioned. Basically, my ideal diet is like a character on Mad Men who doesn't intend to live past 35.
Yeah.
Hey! That's a good diet. It's rock and roll of
Fun
diet.
life.
Yeah.
I want it raw and I want it hard, is what I was going to say, but it's not ideal. It's like the beginning of a Madonna song from 2004. I like, your oysters, your steak tartare, that sort of thing. Like, feels like fresh and
Yes.
Yeah.
And did you have that, did you have an oyster growing up, or do you think this is like what you...
Did I have an oyster growing up? I'm from Rotherham. I didn't have an oyster until I was
here's the
28.
thing, because I grew up in Oldham, so I always wanted like nicer things. I always wanted like olives, because Max and Susanna ate them on Brookside, and they were like posh.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, I'd have things that I didn't like, but I thought were posh. So like oysters, espresso. Like stuff like that. I'd be like, I wanted posh stuff. Was it the same for you? Did you aspire to an oyster?
I think I did.
Yeah.
I think I informed a lot of things. And then now, my boyfriend's like posh. He's like proper posh. Like, it's from French aristocracy sort of thing.
Ooh.
And I went round their house and they were cooking, and it's a lot of, they're very, very good with food. And I was knocking up a vinaigrette, and I put a bit of mustard in, and his sister went, we don't put mustard in the vinaigrette. And it's just not very French. And I was like, my Rotherham roots have given me away. Yeah.
You should put a bit of Dijon in there.
Just a bit of Dijon. It would have been Dijon.
Oh, bit of Dijon.
It might have been Grey Poupon.
Oh, yeah, it could have been that.
Grey Poupon.
Yeah. Whack a bit of Hellman's in and that'll show them. Bit of HP.
I think she's wrong, to be honest. I think you should tell her,
Oh, go on, Ange.
Honestly, I always put a bit of Dijon in my vinaigrette. Italian. I know loads of people in French food do.
Yeah, that's what I
Honestly, go
thought.
back and say, I love.
Yeah.
It was a test.
All love. Yeah, test.
It was a
Yeah.
family test.
And you got on with it.
It was a
Did it?
It was a test. Is there anything you guys don't eat? Because you also said in your chat you would pretty much eat anything.
Yeah.
I'd eat anything.
I pretty much eat anything. I eat such a high percent. I feel like I'm one of those people who I've got quite bad ADHD, right? And I feel part of how it's manifesting is that I need to be constantly eating. It feels like it helps. But then you have to create boundaries for yourself. So I've started just having a full cucumber, walking down the street, and the look people give you having a cucumber, munching a cucumber,
Eating a cucumber like a calippo,
like a calippo. People look at you like you might be violently unhinged. But there is nothing wrong with having a cucumber just day to day.
Depends how you're eating it.
Yeah.
But some, would you eat the sort of green bit first and have the soggy bit to? I bet you could do that.
Would you do
No,
corn on the cob, maybe?
Corn on the
side
cob
roast?
style.
It's more bite the cap off, the little
Yeah.
the very top,
And then
from
pop
there,
it out.
just
Like it, very, very,
set
very
about
gangster.
it. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
A bit of cucumber.
yeah.
I like anything and all. But
Yeah.
for some reason, couscous winds me up
Oh, really?
because I can't understand what the it is. I don't know what category it sort of falls in. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
for some reason, I can't have it with pesto, and I don't know why.
Well, that's weird though, isn't it?
I don't know why. Because I don't know anybody that doesn't like pesto.
Pesto is a no-go for
I
you.
can't have it round me.
Oh, I love it.
Wow.
I don't know
That's
why as
quite-
well. But do
You've had
agree
bad pesto?
with maybe I've had a
yeah.
naughty bit of pesto.
Yeah.
Over but I don't
It's
know.
one of them foods that sort of creeped into everything, though. You see it everywhere, maybe.
What's it made from again, pesto?
It's basil.
Basil.
Do you like
I
basil?
love a bit of basil.
Basil, pine
It makes
nuts.
no sense, does it?
Garlic, olive oil.
Love all that.
There you go. It's
So the
weird.
maths ain't mathing.
Something
No.
wrong. You've had bad pesto.
We need to
But
get
what
to the
about
bottom of
couscous?
this.
Because it's like a mouthful of air.
Well,
Right?
to be fair, I can get on board with the couscous because unless it's brilliant and full of flavour, tastes of nothing. It's what you put.
You've got
with
to
it.
put it as a
Like
conduit.
you want to put
So you wanna
that
cook it
on
with
top
a
of the.
stock?
Yeah, you
Yes.
can put the lamb on top of the couscous, so all the juices go into
Lovely.
it.
Mr Bigstuff is your guys' brand new show. I love this description of what it's about, which it feels accurate. feel, having watched them. Glenn and his fiancée Kirsty have a perfectly mundane life together. Sure, Glenn's got crippling erectile dysfunction and Kirsty has a secret shoplifting habit, but they're happy. That is until Lee comes crashing into their lives. It's good, that, isn't it? Gets you going.
Good.
Gets you going. There's intrigue there.
Yeah.
It's about these two very different brothers who are complete opposites. One is this. They're estranged brothers. They've gone different ways in life because they've got all this kind of like weird stuff in their past. Their parents have died. They've gone different ways. They haven't seen each other in years. One of them is this little anxious carpet salesman with erectile dysfunction. I mean, guess which one was played? Guess who plays that one? And the other one is played by Danny Dyer. And the other one is this reformed reprobate, and they come into each other's lives, and they kind of want to like tear chunks out of each other in that sibling way. They just want to like rip each other's throats out, but they also just really like want their brothers back. You know, there's something underneath.
Of course.
And then through the series, they kind of fix each other. And they're like the yin to each other's yang sort of thing.
I love that little scene in, well, not little, quite amazing scene in episode 1 with the spoons. So you see these two brothers like so far away from each other, so different, living different lives, and then they just slip back into this spoon routine.
Well, we're trying to convince the character that we're brothers because she's like, if you haven't got any family, it's a well-known fact, so you know it can't be true. And then I just pick up some spoons and I go clickety clack, and he looks across at me, and we basically do our routine. Now, when I read the script and I was loving it, and I thought, oh no, we've got to do a whole routine with spoons. Are we going to do this? Because the way it's written, it's like we're perfectly in sync. We're spinning around, almost chucking them up in the air.
I went to town, right? In that and it's showy. It's a little bit Vegas.
Yeah.
I read that. It's a little bit Vegas.
A little bit
But
Vegas.
It's incredible. It sells this thing, but you know, we put the work in, babe, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
We had
So
a
shows.
Did you do spoon rehearsals?
We had a week in Elstree.
No,
and
you did not.
Yeah.
Of
Rehearsed that
spoons.
more than anything else. Dialogue, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
And the first couple of goes, I thought, oh no. And we had, was it Nads?
Nads.
She was amazing. Came in and helped us with the dancing side of things. But, you know, we had to sell it. And then, of course, we had a lovely big studio to rehearse in. And then when we got to the gaff,
It's
what we shot
tiny.
in, it's a diddy little but we still managed
But it
to...
came together.
Still very
We
much.
put the work in and it worked and it was funny and it's quite touching, actually.
Yeah.
It is. It is touching.
It's like, you know, there's something quite loving between these two.
And how it works is because it is actually, you can imagine it, that there were two brothers who hadn't seen it.
Yep.
And this was something they did till knee high.
But entered a talent competition.
Exactly.
in
Yeah,
Canada
exactly.
in
You know, it
94.
felt very real. It was brilliant,
They're
actually.
natural dancers,
They are,
aren't they?
they are
Natural
very
spoon
good.
dancers.
Well,
I'm
we
an
did,
actual-
you're good.
you know, we was quite impressed with each other.
Yeah.
You were, yeah.
We
you were
have
very
them
impressive.
if you care
Oh yeah,
to
if you
do
want to
little
give it a
number.
little.
I've just had some lamb. I don't
No,
want
it's
I don't
not
want to
lamb.
spew it up everywhere.
No.
Mate.
Did you ever have that, Ange? Did you ever do little performances when you were little? So
I
you're.
think me and my brother did, yeah.
What, you did
we
shows?
We did little things, yeah, because we're a generation where you just had TV, no smartphones, nothing.
Yeah.
Well, me and my brother used to play together. It's only 18 months difference. It's interesting because my brother, it's almost like this thing we've got going on in Mr Bigstuff. You wouldn't have thought we came out the same womb, right? So my brother's an accountant, proper, you know, clever with numbers, and which I'm not, surprisingly. Don't laugh because. So anyway, we used to play a game, me and him, back in the day, in the 80s, when he didn't have all the other.
Exactly.
And he's very much in touch with his feminine side, my brother. So we used to play a game, I swear to God, called Judo and Mermaid. Which is a good pitch for a show.
I was about to say, get right in.
So I was called Judo.
Yeah.
And I would bowl around in my mum's dressing gown. And I used to love Columbo as a kid, so I'd have
Oh,
celery.
love Columbo, yeah.
So I was like
Celery!
so and I would walk into the crime scene munching the celery, right? And then my brother would play Mermaid.
Brilliant.
And Mermaid was he would get my mum's tights and he'd put them on his head. And so he'd always be the sort of damsel in distress and I'd come in and save him.
There's a BAFTA there somewhere. There's a BAFTA.
There's some on the telly at the moment.
Who's playing
Judo
Mermaid?
Right, Judo Mermaid.
Yeah.
I'm sold on that.
It's got a good title, isn't
It's
it?
a great title.
Yeah.
What are you into? Judo. What are you into? Mermaids. Judo Mermaid.
Judo Mermaid.
Judo
Yeah,
Mermaid.
for everyone in that.
Oh my God, there really is.
so
There really
good.
is.
hate me for telling this
Yeah.
story.
That is good. That is good. That is real good. See, I was I'm not an only child, but my brother and sister are 11 and 13 years older than me, so I couldn't get them ever to do a show with me. So I used to do, I'd just do a solo show, and I'd do like Tina Turner, or I
Private
did.
dancer?
No, I used to do Steamy Windows, which is so inappropriate. So inappropriate. And my mum and dad had let me like love
you
that
do
song.
it, yeah.
And then when I heard it as an adult, being like, that's Tina Turner having sex in a car.
Yeah.
And
Mum
it's,
was like,
it's so.
It won't know. It won't know.
I don't
Be
know.
fine.
I'm like, Steamy Windows. Just doing that.
Oh my God.
That's
You
why
give a
she's
lovely
having
number.
sex in a car.
You've
Yeah.
definitely ruined that song for me.
I know. And it's only recently when I said, Mum, do you know what that song's about? She said, I never thought about it. I thought it was
You were
about
dancing. Well,
sex and Steamy Windows.
Yes, you dancing lovely. I tried to keep it out of my mind. To be frank.
Do you watch a lot of stuff as actors? Do you think, I should be abreast of what's on in the telly and what's on in films? Do you ever think like that?
I think like all art, you watch stuff and you take stuff on,
Yeah.
and then you try and nick stuff and use it slightly. I think that's what art is really.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I think what gives you a career is your own identity and makes you different from everybody else. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of knockbacks. A lot of people saying, "No, we don't want you. You're
Yeah.
He's better."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which which
And how
are
do you handle that? Or like as a massive part of your...
and sob me heart out.
Oh, Danny.
Well, I mean, I tried to write my own stuff for that exact
Yeah.
reason. It's just like, I think I know what I want to see. And on the switch of that, like, we've just locked the final episodes, right? And I can't wait for people to watch episode 5 and 6 because you are so good in it. And it's going to like, I don't think people have seen this stuff that you can do in the later episodes. It's honestly like
That's the twist.
I can't stand to watch stuff that I've it makes me feel, and there are some bits of Danny's acting that I've just been like pausing it and going, "Hindi coach, yeah." It's very, very
That's so
good.
good.
I can't wait to see
That's
that.
very kind.
Do you ever get home from a job where you've been acting and immersed in a character and then you have to be yourself again and you're like, who am I?
Yeah.
It depends how you approach it. Really, some people would have it on EastEnders. It was called the award stick. So you'd have It's a stick that you get. It's basically Vicks, and you put it and it creates cheers, and then you just put a face. And I'm not saying
What you can do is you can put a lump of it behind your ear,
Really?
and so no one knows, and you're fine,
ear
fine,
up
and then
stuff.
just go. I'm actually really,
That's good.
That's good.
Very good.
Learning.
Or you go there and you go to a place. If the writing and the text's good enough, then you buy it and you believe what you're saying. But sometimes you have to dig into some weird to make you cry.
Yeah.
When you're doing a soap, you have you have weeks of crying on end.
Yeah.
And then you sort of have to go home. Go, hello kids, hello, you're all lovely. And you're a bit enough from it. It's like. So it depends how much you want to commit.
Yeah.
But I feel as actors, you got to commit.
Yeah, of course.
You got to sell it. And
Yeah.
so therefore, a few tears between. We all need a good cry.
The show, I feel, is like I want in a way to write a show about masculinity and about the fact that obviously there's a big problem with the pressure put on men, meaning that we're all predisposed to not like talking about our emotions, sort of thing. And I feel like a big message of it is about like honesty, as much as it requires bravery to be honest about how you're actually feeling.
Yeah.
It is ultimately, I don't know. I think it's a bigger problem than like people realize. The idea that like under a certain age, the biggest killer of men is suicide.
Yeah,
And that's
absolutely.
insane. And so, if there's any message to a show that I could give out, it would be like we all need to get to grips with the idea of being able to talk about our emotions. Surely it's
I
not
know.
that scary. Like,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one, isn't it, at the moment with what masculinity is, what does it represent, when does it become toxic? We all deal with our emotions differently, don't we? And I think that, you're right, that's such a sad stat that, I think that it's never the answer to end it. I mean, it's incredible to me that, that's happening at the moment.
Well, it's weird that. So I wrote this show about two people who've gone about being a man in very different ways, and so it's loosely about masculinity, and I think because of like, I don't know, I grew up without very many strong male role models, and then I did this show which is sort of about that, about the sort of crapness of masculinity and trying to masculine. But then, ironically, I think you do it in quite a specific way, which I've seen. So something that's been quite, I don't know, for me, quite strange to watch is that Danny like uses his like testosterone fueled all this to like raise people up around him.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like with our crew, they've been working for like 12, 14 hours a day, and it's down, and everyone's like livid, and he'd be like, guys, come on, what are we? We're an elite unit. What are we? And they'd be like, we're an elite unit. What are we? We're an elite unit. And it really just like galvanised people. And I felt like
I forgot about that.
they had elite unit
Which
for
we-
Oh my God, man.
Yeah.
So you're like,
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just thought that's it. That's what it can be. Because nowadays we're in this position where masculinity for some reason only ever comes after the word toxic, and so and how damaging that might be for like young men and boys who are like trying to navigate that.
Yeah.
And I think we have to sort of reclaim it in a way and go like there is a positive side to it.
Yeah.
And what is that? What is the positive version of that?
Yeah.
Shouting elite unit on set. Man,
Well, you got us over the line, baby.
yeah, that'll do it. We come now to the end of the show question.
That's a shame.
No, you can stay. You can stay. The end of the show question to win yourselves a Waitrose goodie bag. All you got to do is answer this.
What's in there?
Loads of good stuff. What is in there? Come on, Ange. What's in there?
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
Nice chocolates.
Spaghetti,
Bit of
Little
bucatini.
cheesy
Olive
stuff.
oil.
that's the real-
Cheese straw.
That's the real.
It's a proper big shot.
And you get
There's
the
no
bag.
couscous.
No couscous.
Is that a bit of
gosh.
Is that a bit of harissa
pesto?
paste?
No,
It's pesto.
To win the Waitrose goodie bag, here we go. Everyone remembers the first time, but what about the second time? To win your Waitrose goodie bag today, please tell us, not your first, but your second acting credit according to IMDb. Let's start with you, Danny. The second thing you were in. Come on. Don't overthink it, Ryan, because that's cheating.
He's got to think of the
Come on,
answer.
come on. In fact, both
Okay,
of
so
you can give it us whenever.
The first thing
Yeah,
was Prime Suspect.
right.
Oh, yes.
3.
Yeah. And the second.
And the second, what the
Not a bad one to be in.
I think it was, and I'm going to go. I'm going to say the Bill, because because it was the obvious.
not the
it
Bill.
wasn't
Wasn't
because
the
I
Bill.
wasn't
Not
going
the
to say
Bill.
the Bill. I was going to
It was.
say.
Oh, yeah, if you were.
And I know what it was. No, okay, let me have one
Come
more
on,
go.
Yeah,
This
go
is
on.
random. Brother Cadfael.
Yes!
What's that?
Yes, it was. 1994.
Well done.
Yes.
Brother God.
And I was a leper.
Oh! Yes, congrats.
Typecast.
Ryan, what was the second thing you were ever in? Come on.
I think mine might have been Wire in the Blood. Where is it? Wire in the Blood?
It's not Wire in the Blood. No, it's not Wire in the Blood.
You
Why
had
would-
time, by
why
the way.
would-
You
I had
played a
to-
guy called Marcus.
Oh, now I remember.
No.
Is
In
it-
Denial of Murder, 2004.
Oh,
well, that's
yeah.
what IMDb say. They could,
Yeah, they could be right.
they could be full of it. Do you know what? But you've been amazing
still
today.
get the goodie
So I
bag.
feel like
Thanks.
the goodie
It's been
bags
so
are
nice.
yours. The goodie bags are
We've
yours.
loved this, right? mate?
I've had a lovely time.
Best
fun,
interview
wasn't it?
ever, this says. Thank you
It's
so
been
much.
so
eh?
fun.
Do I get to keep the tote?
You keep the totes. You keep the totes.
Thanks, guys.
The tote is yours. There you go. Next red carpet.
God bless Waitrose, by the way.
Guys, that was a lot of fun, that.
Yeah,
That was
That was a
really
lot of fun.
You were
Thank you for
brilliant.
coming. Don't forget to watch Mr Bigstuff on Sky. Thank you so much, Ryan and Danny, everybody.